Righty, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's 9 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here today, this morning. At this time, we get motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion? Second. Any discussion? None? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Give everybody a minute to look over the June 27 committee meeting. Get a minute for that. Get a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion? Second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion on the minutes, deletions or anything? Corrections that need to be made? If none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
None opposed. All right, we'll go to the new business. I think we've had some conversation on this before, about terminating the one-call agreement with the medical service, emergency air medical service. We had a meeting with AMR E911 employees, and Mr. Ford sat in on the first meeting that we had with them, and they put some things together. And they're not happy. The E911 nor AMR is happy with the service that we're getting from the one-call agreement. We don't feel like, or they don't feel like, that we're getting the helicopter that we need for when we call one, or the assistance for a helicopter. I think we talked about this earlier in the year, and we didn't have enough information on it. And now, being that Mr. Keefe's here, he's got a bad wreck going on right now, but he was going to speak on it and just get everybody up to date on it. What it is now is, supposedly when a call comes in, it goes to 911, they call the one-call agreement people, and they search for the nearest helicopter. From my understanding, from talking to everybody and in those meetings, that we don't feel like that's being done, that they're reaching out to their helicopters before they are just the available helicopters. So, I don't know, Mr. Ford, you want to add anything to it from the meetings that you?
Just basically what I understand about it is that our only position is that we want the county wants the nearest helicopter that's available to get to the patient as needed. And I think we kind of asked Keith to bring some information to the table to show documents where the problems actually are, and I think that they've brought that to the table now to show where the shortcomings are. And during that meeting, when I kind of left, I was under the impression that as long as all parties could agree on a better solution, then y'all have had another meeting since then, so.
And I think in the last meeting, we everybody at the 911 system, AMR, and everybody has agreed to go to the system in the way that we're proposing to go to. I'll let Keith, if you want to come up and speak and tell.
Yeah.
I handed this to Jeremy Kirkley, what we done was, we put a lot of thought, a lot of effort into this right here. We're taking what we want to do is, like you explained, we want to take the one-call agreement out of one person's hands and put it in our hands to let us do. So what we done is on that very last piece of paper that's in that handout that you guys has got, is we took every pre-designated LZ we have in this county, and we marked them as, you see the different colors. Green, yellow, and red. That's 1, 2, and 3. When you look at which one is highlighted green, that'll be the first air, you got a different one, Ethan, I think.
It's fine, go ahead.
You got
I
it.
understand.
So what we've done is we broke it down. Which one have you got, Ms. Brown? I want to make sure you got it right.
I got a different one too.
You don't think we've got the third
Yeah,
sheet
Yeah,
there?
we don't have the third sheet.
Y'all don't have the third? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
Who's on the committee?
Y'all
I got
have
one
that.
right here.
Okay, he may have.
So what we done is we broke them down to where we're gonna make the call to who is the closest aircraft. It don't matter what color, what brand, who owns it, it don't matter. So what we done, we took each LZ and we drew a straight line to their base. And when that base, if it says it's 42 miles, and the next closest one is 43, we went with the 42 miles. Because what we want is the closest aircraft to this county to get us for that patient that's available at that time. So what 911 is gonna do is they're gonna make the phone call to that first one on the list that says, and they're gonna ask, is your aircraft available? If that dispatcher says, no, they're busy, they're gonna immediately hang the phone up. That's the end of the conversation. They're gonna go to the yellow one next on the list. The yellow one's the second closest aircraft, which at that point in time would be our first closest that's available. Is yours available? No. Or yes. Okay, we need you, and then they're gonna give you the information, and we're gonna get our aircraft. We've spent probably 30 to 45 seconds doing what we've done, which now we're currently waiting 15 minutes for that answer. And is this perfect? No. There is no perfect solution. But we feel that this is the best solution for Chesterfield County right now.
With you needing 3 this morning, was that a problem for you getting those 3?
Yes, sir. It sure was. We made the phone call to the one-call agreement. Basically, we were told that they had one aircraft available, which was the closest aircraft to that LZ, which was perfect. We requested 2 additional aircraft this morning, and we were told that they had multiple requests coming into their comm center at that time, and they would do their best, but they wasn't guaranteeing they'd be able to get us anybody else. So at that point in time, I just called up to the dispatch center and I talked to Chad, and I said, we need to call this number and this number right now. And they called it, and we've got additional aircraft coming. They're on the way as we speak. So that was just, this morning was just one of the latest incidences that we've had with this one-call agreement. To where this morning, when if this plan would have already been in effect, we'd have made the first call to the first one on the list, we'd have got them, we'd have went to number 2, and we'd have made the call ourselves. Where we was wasting 10 and 15 minutes this morning waiting on them to figure out what they were gonna do, we could have been and had an answer on our 3 aircraft and moved on.
And Keith, there's been some examples in the past couple of months that
Yeah.
we've had some,
We had a call in McBee of a structure fire where a gentleman had some pretty severe burns. One call agreement sent their aircraft, which was by far the closest aircraft to that location, by far. There was 2 other ones that's way closer, but they sent their own. And it was like a 30-something minute ETA for that aircraft to get here. I mean, that's one, I probably could dig in my mind. My mind's rattled this morning, I'm sorry, from everything that was going on out there. Me wanting to be there and couldn't be there with them to help them, but there's plenty more.
So you want to do away with the one-call agreement?
Yes, sir, I sure do. I want to be able to put this in the hands of my supervisors on the streets and 911 center to make the most appropriate call. let us be held accountable for what is done.
So does that put the liability on the county, or do y'all take the liability?
I'll take it. My supervisors are gonna be making this call of who to send, we'll take the liability for it. Don't have a problem with that whatsoever. And if there's a mistake made with this, what we're proposing, I can handle that mistake. Currently, the way it is, I have no dog in the fight. You know, I can make a phone call and raise a little cane, but that's as far as I can go. This way, I can handle the situation. You know, I got grip on it. First off, I can handle my supervisors that make the mistake, and then if there's a mistake with the air crews that are coming, I can start making phone calls to them because I got grip on it. And I can tell them, you know, hey, you messed up, what we gonna do to fix this?
Any other?
Is this request is coming from the emergency side and the welfare of the ones that may been in a fatal accident or some sort? What is your reason for asking that question?
I want to be able to have access to the closest resource that we can get our hands on without having to jump through hoops to get those resources. Time is precious. So let me give you let me run through just a typical right now the way it is. We one-call agreement. We make a phone call to that one-call agreement. When we make that phone call, the one-call agreement provider will go ahead and take the information from our dispatch center, which takes a couple of several minutes. At that point in time, they're gonna dispatch their aircraft, whether it's closest or not. They're gonna dispatch their aircraft to us. Then they're gonna take a time and they're gonna look at a map and say, well, maybe this one over here is a little closer. So now they've got to call that other provider and give the same spiel of information that we just give them. And then they've got to dispatch their aircraft, and then they've got to check weather, and they've got to do all this, and then they got to decide whether or not they're gonna come. We probably done wasted 10 minutes to where if we do it this way, we've wasted 1 to 2 minutes. So yes, it is for the welfare of this county to get the closest aircraft to us.
Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted. It could be the difference between life and death.
Definitely. In the terms of a heart attack, the famous term is time is muscle, your heart muscle, very much so.
Mr. Chair, if I remember correctly, when we did the one-call agreement, and Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you were here and Ethan was here, but was that not the concept that we were looking at, that the closest aircraft would be coming?
And that was how it was supposed to be. That was the
Yeah.
protocol.
And
But
so are we saying that's not what they've been doing? They've been using their own? And
Yes.
then this proposed agreement is supposed to do away with that and absolutely guarantee that the closest aircraft is the one that's gonna respond to the call?
And if there's an instance where it's not, then that's when we would go to them and approach them about it. We feel like we got more of, we could deal with it better and, have a more better recourse. Because we go directly
Yeah,
to
we will
them.
have more game in the fight because it's not only gonna be me watching what's going on, Chad and Clay at the 911 Emergency Management is gonna be watching it like a hawk with me too. So, it's just not gonna be a one-man game watching it. We're gonna be working as a team to assure that what we need happens.
Any other discussion?
No, I just, I heard you mention a meeting or a couple of meetings or something. When were these meetings here? This is the first I've heard that what we were doing wasn't working the way we had intended.
Yeah, I think we had a discussion in one of the council meetings, February, March or so, about this, and, how far back was it, Ethan?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and Mr. Keith came to that meeting that day, and, I don't think he got to speak about it, but, and then we just kind of went over to the 911 to kind of rack the brains of everybody to see how it could work, or what do we need to make it work. And we let the professionals take it over as far as the 911s and the AMR, and I think even,
What we done was we formed a committee of myself, a person from the rescue squads, one of the captains from the rescue squads was on the meeting. Mr. Hancock from the fire service was on the meeting. Ms. D from over at the dispatch center was on the committee. And then we brought in one outside person that's not affiliated with any of them, but has emergency services experience. Her name was Michelle Cooley, and we brought her in, and we sat down, and this is what the committee of all the emergency services felt was best.
any more questions from anybody or concerns, or? And I think, Mr. Keith and Director Chad Arant, I mean, if the committee would like to send this to council for council's approval, they have agreed to come and speak on the behalf of, they're in a joint agreement of this happening if council sees fit.
I'm in agreement with, we take it before the council.
Let it be a full council decision.
So can we get a motion to take this to terminate the one-call agreement to council?
I make a motion that we agree to determine the one-call agreement terminated.
Take it to full
Motion.
council.
Take it before council.
Yes.
Second.
I second taking it to full council.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussions? If none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. I think, Keith, this is another pitch for you, but I think you've already went over it. The discussion of the MOU, and we'll let Mr. Coleman speak on it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a need to go into a memorandum of agreement with, AMR. We had one with Med Center Air. We're gonna recommend that we terminate that in item 4A. But item 4B of the agenda, I think, we just need the committee to, give, our county administrator, Michelle, the authority to enter into a MOU, with AMR setting forth their obligations and our obligations. And I put a draft together, and I can show it to y'all, right now. But the, basically this, what Keith gave us, this form right here in color, will become Exhibit A of this agreement. But it just sets forth the obligations. And so if y'all would just give, Michelle the authority to enter into a memorandum, I think that will be good as we go forward.
Has Keith seen a copy of that?
Not yet.
Okay.
So you asking us to also either, I just want to make sure I'm clear, we're saying to allow Michelle to enter into this agreement without it going to full council?
No, with it going to full
can't do that.
council. So in the meantime, between now and August 13th, we'll take the steps necessary to meet with Keith, meet with Chad, meet with Clay, make sure everything's good, iron out all the kinks.
I just want to make sure, because I know we could not enter into any agreement without full council. Okay.
Any discussion on that? Any more? This time, can we get a motion to send the MOU to full council?
So move.
So move. Second.
I second.
Any discussion? If none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, unfinished business is rescue squad contract updates. As of right now, we have a contract with all volunteer rescue squads. We have four that's signed already, and two that's going to sign. But I would like to make a motion to send the contract to council for the council's approval.
Before we, do that, Jeff Kirkland, who's the ones that sent in, the four?
You got, now this is rescue squad, you
Right.
got Terrell, Jefferson, Patrick, and McBee.
I make a motion that we send it before council. The rescue squad contract.
And, so they've already signed even though it hasn't gone to
They already,
full council to agree on it?
yes, they've already signed it and they're good with it.
Cancel it.
And I feel like Coleman has worked with Clay Kearns, I mean, a bunch on this contract. So they kind of put Clay as the administrator of the rescue squads, the contact person. And Coleman and Clay has worked, I mean, numerous hours on getting it together to match what they feel like is good for them, and Coleman has done the same in the county's behalf. We went back and forth a couple of times. We went to their captain's meeting twice, I think it was. And the last captain meetings, they were all in agreement with the contract.
Obviously, if they signed it,
Yes.
I'm sure they were.
And the two that hadn't signed, they would just
Wasn't
go run it by their squad members and their board members. So,
So, I will second the motion, there was a motion.
yes, yes, ma'am.
I will second that motion to send it to full council.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Update on the fire department contracts. At this time, we have a few departments that have agreed to the contract. Other than the rescue squad, they want the council to agree to it prior to them signing it. So, and I understand that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I understand
The
that.
council needs to approve it before you sign it, because there may be some more
Yeah.
discussion that needs to take place prior to the signature.
So, at this time, we have the Ruby Mount Croggan, Bay Springs, Bronx Mill, and High Point has agreed that they are all in agreement with the contract. They just want council to approve it prior to their signatures. So at this time, could we get a motion to send those contracts to full council to approve?
I move that we send the contract to full council to review.
Review? Okay.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If none, all in favor, aye? Aye. Ayes have it.
Mr. Kirkley,
Yes, sir.
before y'all end this meeting, Mr. Cato and them here from Sand Hill, did y'all want to speak about any of this, or?
Mr. Chair, I do have one question, and I failed to look at that page. Going back to the rescue squad, you said Ford already signed, but my question is on page 5, in the last paragraph, B. And the question is, it says reasonable time. It's in that third sentence. Beginning at notice in writing to the other party within a reasonable time thereafter. So what is defined as a reasonable time? Or could we say something more in line with a maximum of so many days or whatever? Reasonable to you, a reasonable time to you may not be a reasonable time to me. And this is on page 5, section 9, paragraph B. Beginning with notice in writing to the other party within a reasonable time thereafter, given the full particulars of such force, and I can't pronounce that last word. Do you see what I'm,
Right here.
what I'm referring to? And we can discuss it in full council, because I'd have the same question. This is the Rescue Squad Service Agreement, page 5, section 9,
Yeah, I see.
paragraph B.
Coleman, can you,
Who they set up.
he's gone. Do you have any,
Are you talking about the rescue squad?
yeah,
Oh, I don't have any rescue squad.
page 5?
Oh, I don't.
And we've already decided to send it to full council, but at the council meeting, I'll ask the same question.
Okay.
I was just bringing it to your attention,
All right.
that I do have that question. Okay.
Does anyone from the committee have any other items to speak on?
Give me just a second. I have none.
The only thing I'd like to say is, I'd like to thank Coleman and Michelle for working with all these departments as much as they have. They have put a lot of time, a lot of effort in getting this together. So I'd like to thank y'all personally. Burns, you have anything?
No, sir.
Well, if nothing else, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.